There are numerous diets that promote weight loss, sometimes in an unhealthy way, and fad crash dieting is obviously potentially dangerous. At the same time in America, we eat an estimated 100 acres of pizza every day. So understanding which foods are healthful and trying to include them in our diet could actually benefit us as a nation. The most important thing to remember is that a balanced diet is the true secret to healthy eating. In this episode, I'm going to give you some details on the top 15 foods considered to be the most healthy according to surveys across the United States and Western Europe. Hi, I'm Stephanie Phillips-Markstein, and I help health-conscious people optimize their physical and emotional well-being so that they can show up in the world as the best and most confident version of themselves. So today we're going to talk about the top 15 foods, and among them are in a category called nuts, pulses, and grains. So nuts, pulses, and grains can be highly nutritious, and here are some of the best. Almonds is first on the list. Almonds are rich in nutrients, including magnesium, vitamin E, iron, calcium, fiber, riboflavin. And there was a scientific review that was published in Nutrition Reviews that found that almonds actually as a food may help to maintain healthy cholesterol levels. They have more fiber than any other tree nut. Brazil nuts are also some of the most healthful nuts on the planet. They are rich in protein and carbohydrates, and they are also excellent sources of vitamin B1, otherwise known as thiamine, vitamin E, magnesium, and zinc. So not only that, but Brazil nuts actually contain one of the highest amounts of selenium of any food. And selenium, you may or may not know, is a vital mineral for maintaining thyroid function. Next on the list is lentils. Lentils are considered a pulse, which nobody calls them that, but they're used in many cuisines, throughout the world, notably Southeast Asian countries like Pakistan, Nepal, Bangladesh, India, places like that. Lentils require a long cooking time, so that's a drawback, but the seeds can actually be sprouted, which makes them ready to eat, and it's actually a really yummy snack. You can add them to a container, or add them like a container of sprouted lentils to a lunchbox, and you can dress them up with some chili powder or pepper for extra flavoring. Oatmeal, a grain, is meal made from rolled or ground oats, and research found that the cereal's soluble fiber content actually helps to lower cholesterol levels. So when these findings were published in the 1980s, there was this oat bran craze that's kind of spread across the United States and Western Europe. And in 1997, the Food and Drug Administration agreed that foods with high levels of rolled oats or oat bran could include data on their labels about their cardiovascular heart benefits if accompanied with a low-fat diet, which this was also followed by another surge in oatmeal popularity. And you might remember when Cheerios got in on that, and they put, they advertised it on their box. Oats are rich in complex carbohydrates as well as water-soluble fiber, which slow digestion down and levels of blood glucose, in other words, sugar. Oatmeal is rich in vitamin B vitamins, omega-3s, potassium, and they have a lot of fiber. So the last on this list is wheat germ. So wheat germ is actually the part of the wheat that germinates to grow into a plant, hence the name. So it's like the embryo of the seed. And the germ, along with the bran, is a byproduct of milling. So when cereals are refined, the germ and the bran are often milled out. So you can eat the germ separately, and it's high in several vital nutrients such as folic acid, otherwise known as folate, thiamine, zinc, magnesium, phosphorus, as well as fatty alcohols and essential fatty acids. It's also a really good source of fiber. So in every episode, I like to give you something that will help you lead a healthier and more fulfilling life. And to that end, I have put together a free PDF guide called Keto for Beginners. This guide is a quick and easy hack to adopting the ketogenic diet with all the hassle. Basically, I've kind of taken the guesswork out of going keto. So be sure to pick the free guide up at the link below. So the next category are greens, fruits, and berries. And you probably knew this was coming. Broccoli, rich in fiber, calcium, potassium, folate, phytonutrients. Those are the compounds that reduce the risk of developing heart disease and diabetes and some cancers, they think, as well. Broccoli also contains vitamin C and beta carotene. So a single 100-gram serving of broccoli, which by the way is much smaller than you think it is, can provide you with over 150% of the recommended daily intake of vitamin C, which in large doses can potentially shorten, common cold, among other things. Another ingredient, which is called sulforaphane, is also said to have anti-cancer and anti-inflammatory qualities. So the only thing is you want to avoid overcooking broccoli because that can destroy many of its nutrients. So you want to try to eat it either raw or just lightly steamed. The next in this category of greens, fruits, and berries are apples, which are an excellent source of antioxidants. They combat free radicals. Free radicals are those damaging substances that hit our cells and cause the cells to mutate. They are involved in the aging process. And so some animal studies have found that an antioxidant found in apples called polyphenols might actually extend lifespans. Researchers at Florida State University said that apples are a miracle fruit. And in that study, the investigators found that older women who started a regime of eating apples daily experienced 23% drop in bad cholesterol levels and a 4% increase in good cholesterol levels after just 6 months. So that's a really great reason to eat apples, apple a day. Kale is a green, often very underrated, leafy green. There are a lot of different nutrients contained within the leaves of kale. Vitamin C is one. And according to the U.S. Department of Medicine, the USDA, it contains a substantial amount of vitamin K, 817 micrograms or 778% of the recommended daily intake. Kale can be cooked or steamed like cabbage, spinach, or asparagus. It can also be consumed in smoothies, which is a popular way to have it, or it can be juiced for a nutrient kick. Berries. So blueberries. Blueberries are rich in fiber, antioxidants, and phytonutrients. Unlike minerals and vitamins, however, phytonutrients are not essential for keeping us alive, but they may help prevent disease and keep the body working properly. So according to a study carried out at Harvard Medical School, older adults who eat plenty of blueberries and strawberries are less likely to suffer from cognitive decline compared with other people of their same age who don't eat blueberries and strawberries. And scientists at the Texas Women's University found that blueberries actually help to curb obesity. Again, they have these plant polyphenols that have been shown to reduce the development of fat cells, while also inducing the breakdown of lipids and fat, which is known as lipolysis. So regular blueberry consumption can reduce the risk of hypertension, meaning high blood pressure, by 10% because of the berry's bioactive compounds. Scientists from East Anglia University and Harvard University reported that in the American Journal of Nutrition. Next on the list in this little category is avocados. Many people avoid avocados because they know they're high in fat. They believe that avoiding all fats is better for health, and remember that whole 80s craze of low fat. This is a myth. Avocados are rich in healthy fats as well as B vitamins, vitamin K, vitamin E, and they have a very high fiber content. So studies have shown that regular avocado consumption actually helps to lower blood cholesterol levels. Avocado extracts are actually currently being studied in the laboratory to see if they might be helpful for treating diabetes or hypertension. So, and researchers from Ohio State University found that nutrients taken from avocados were able to stop oral cancer cells and even destroy some of the precancerous cells. So that's exciting. Leafy green vegetables. So studies have shown that a high intake of dark leafy vegetables, such as spinach or cabbage, may significantly lower a person's risk of developing type 2 diabetes. Researchers at the University of Leicester said that the impact of dark green vegetables on human health should be investigated further after they gathered data from 6 different studies. So spinach, for example, is very rich in antioxidants, especially when uncooked or steamed or very lightly boiled. You don't want to cook it to the point where it's really it gets kind of gross. It's a good source of vitamins A, B6, C, E, and K. as well as, again, selenium, niacin, zinc, copper, folic acid, potassium, calcium, vitamine, iron. The next thing on the list is sweet potatoes, rich in dietary fiber, beta carotene, potassium, vitamin C, and vitamin B6. The Center for Science in the Public Interest compared the nutritional value of sweet potatoes to other vegetables. And the sweet potato ranked number 1 when vitamins A and C and iron and calcium and protein and complex carbs were considered. Finally, in our list of foods to include in your diet are fish, meat, and eggs. So when looking for healthy protein, it's sometimes difficult to kind of know what's the best source. So here are some of the best in the healthy protein list. Oily fish. We've talked about this before. Oily fish includes salmon, trout, mackerel, herring, sardines, and anchovies. And these types of fish have oil in their tissues and around their gut. So their lean fillets contain up to 30% oil, specifically omega-3 fatty acids. These are the oils that are known to provide benefits for the heart as well as the nervous system. Oily fish provide benefits for patients with inflammatory conditions such as arthritis, and they're also rich in vitamins A and D. So scientists at UCLA found that prostate cancer progression was significantly lowered or slowed down when patients went on a low-fat diet with fish oil supplements. So the next protein that we need to include is chicken. It's a cheap, it's healthy meat. It's not as cheap when you go organic, but still relatively cheap compared to red meat. Free-range chicken obviously provides an excellent source of protein. It can be consumed much more freely than other red meats, which is like beef, which have a more damaging long-term impact on overall health. And it's important to remember that the preparation of and cooking of chicken has an impact on how healthy it is. So remember, you don't want to have the deep fried chicken. You also want to remember to, if you can, to remove the skin, because that part of the chicken has the highest levels of fat. Now I happen to love the skin, but it's not as good for you. It's better to just remove it. Finally, eggs are an incredible source of protein that can be incorporated into a balanced diet. They're versatile. You can, have them for breakfast, but you can also have them for other meals. I like to boil eggs, hard-boiled eggs. They contain other vitamins like vitamin B2 and riboflavin and B12. They also are a very good source of the essential amino acid leucine, which is important for stimulating muscle protein synthesis. So the yolk of the egg is what contains, the majority of the vitamins and minerals. And it used to be that people thought you can't eat the yolk, but that's not true anymore. It also contains fat and cholesterol, but the research shows that eggs actually don't increase the risk for heart disease. So consuming fat in moderate amounts, perfectly helpful, and having the yolk of the eggs is totally fine. The key is balance and moderation. Overall, it's important for your health to have a balanced diet and one that does not focus on a specific type of food. And it's also important to remember that a treat, once in a while can be part of a balanced diet, and that's an important piece of it. I hope this has been helpful. The good news is that many of the foods that we just discussed on this list can actually be included in the keto diet. And I can even give you 2 keto-friendly recipes. Well, they're in my Keto for Beginners. So don't forget to click on that link below. And also be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel, and be sure to join me this Saturday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern for Saturdays with Stephanie. I hope this has been helpful, and I'll see you then. See you on my Facebook Live, Stephanie Phillips Marks Team, Saturday morning at 10 a.m. Bye-bye.